Well, hello there, and welcome back to another episode of the All Around Growth Podcast. My name is Rob Kaiser, and I am your host. This is a show that provides insight and tools to build the life and homestead of your dreams. Today is Monday, February 7th, 2022, and this is episode number 279. Today, we have a winter market update and some exciting news about the farmers market in general. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about the market, a little bit more about the homestead, a little bit more about farm operations in general this year, because that is going to be a bit of focus, or an increased area of focus in my life. So Saturday was the first day that we were present at the winter market that is currently being held at Richardson Farms. And before we get into the market itself, this is another example of how involvement in your community can be of benefit to you as you continue to grow and expand your own ventures. And what I mean by that is this opportunity was, and the invite was initially presented to me from Bill Richardson, I guess is the current owner of Richardson Farms. Richardson Farms is a generational farm that's been around since the late 1800s. And Bill and his son Ben and myself are all members of the same volunteer organization, and we've gotten to know each other through that and through the markets as well. And they, Bill mentioned something about his winter market, asked if we would be interested, and I said that I would have to check with my dad, and of course he was interested. Bear with me as I'm driving down the driveway trying to navigate some new channels in the ice buildups here. So, big old truck's doing its job this morning. So Dad accepted the invite, and within a matter of days, Stephanie, Bill's daughter-in-law, Ben's wife, had sent over a form for us to fill out. And that was just earlier last week. And Saturday was the first day at the market, which was held inside one of their greenhouses. And the following vendors were there. There was Barkin Biscuit, who has all sorts of dog treats and antlers and, natural dog toys and natural dog treats. Sensational Organics, company that makes bath and body products. There was Jen's Homemade Candles, Ricky and Charlie's Country Kitchen, who is right next to us, the Painted Horse Hut, who had little painted knickknacks and painted toy trucks, and little horseshoes is the primary thing she had. Silver Dog Treasures. I'm not sure if they were there. I don't know. Humble Mornings Coffee Company. That gal, Angela or Angelina, she was very nice. Had some delicious coffee. And I think I just saw the manager driving down the road. That's right. But I am not going that way. Silver Sips and Sweets. Lily's Treasures, and that was an exciting, cool venture by one of Ben and Stephanie's kids. She was making bird houses, little bird feeders, and things with peanut butter and seed and all sorts of things. Little budding entrepreneur and DIY birdhouse kits with pine cones and cups of peanut butter and cups of seed. Small, medium, and large. Really cool to see Ben and Stephanie encouraging their kids to be little entrepreneurs and sell stuff at market as well. And that was her stuff called Lily's Treasures. And then there was Thompson's Treasures and Treats, and they were right next to us on the other side, selling little chocolate dipped pretzels and things of that nature. And ultimately, last but not least, there was us, York Meadow Farm. I was with my dad selling sauerkraut, and while we were a bit limited on products due to a lot being actively fermented right now, or going through the fermenting process, we sold out of everything that we did have, except a few jars of pickles. And that was just a fun day. My dad was very grateful for the help. It was great to connect and network with new customers. There were some people that were there just because we were there, because they'd seen the market posted on our timeline, because we shared it, because now we're involved. And that was exciting. So I think the Richardsons were pleased that we were there. We were certainly pleased to be there. Many thanks and gratitude to the Richardson family for the invitation. And another interesting thing that just so happened recently with regard to the market was, I may have last week talked about the market at the VFW and how excited that we were after that meeting last Saturday. Abruptly, the market manager decided to cancel the market this past week. Sent out an email and made some phone calls to people, and that caught a lot of people off guard. There were some vendors who had made the transition and went to other local markets, but we were a little concerned because that was our primary market, and now all of a sudden, nothing. The Richardsons have a market, but that market is going to, it's kind of seasonal. It's in their greenhouse, and in just a few weeks they are going to transition into growing. And the market is going to be limited at best, and they started experimenting with the farmers market last year in the fall, I believe, but this hosting a market is, I believe it's a newer idea to them, so there's some uncertainty about that. And there is another local market every other weekend at a local garden center, Boyert's Farm and Greenhouse, and we're just a little unsure. We passed the market deadlines for the other local markets. That was the one that my parents had attended and we've attended as a farm, York Meadow Farm, in the past. But we left that market 2-3 years ago when there was this split. But now the current market where we have been at the VFW is no longer taking place. So ironically enough, as we were talking about the other market in the square in town, the original market where we first were selling at many years ago, with another vendor who got turned down because there was already another vendor doing the dog treat type of enterprise. This particular market is a little bit more selective about their vendors. There's a whole long story about why this split took place in the first place. I won't get into that now. But the current market manager, who I also want to call Angela, I think it was Angelina with the coffee, or Angelique, and Angela, the market manager from Main Street, Medina. She was present at Richardson Farms, and it sounds as though they maybe have held a few vendor spots available for last minute holdouts of items, vendors who were selling items they were looking to incorporate into their market. You know, there's a lot of produce vendors, there's a lot of that's the first thing that comes to mind. There's several meat vendors, but there's no one selling sauerkraut. There's several bakers. There's different people selling jams and honeys, maple syrup, things like that. But not very many people are selling fermented goods. There is one other vendor selling pickles, but no one selling sauerkraut. And I'm certainly not going to advise against growing produce by any means, but if you are growing produce and looking to get into market what you have for sale at a farmer's market, it's worth thinking that out well in advance. Like, for example, at our local market, the deadline for getting your applications in for the 2022 season, which starts up in April or May, was late December of 2021. So you've really got to be thinking a season ahead when you're growing produce or really doing anything associated with farmers markets. It never hurts to continually reach out, grow your networks, think ahead, and think in the long term. So we are pretty confident that we are going to be back on the square at the market that we were initially selling at many years ago. We will be back there as a new vendor, hopefully. We are also working in conjunction with Richardson Farms now, and that's exciting. And I personally am just doing the best that I can with my folks to support them in whatever way possible. Originally, the idea was to commit 15 hours a week to the side hustle, and I'm coming close to that, but that's something that we are talking about because it's new to them to have somebody to work with and also teach and train. But at the same time, I don't want to get in their way when there's product to be made. But I do think there are things that I can do to help and expedite certain processes, like work the sauerkraut, massage the sauerkraut while my dad cleans up, or sanitize some of the stainless steel dishes in preparation while he gets the cabbage ready, things like that. I don't know. Same thing with my mom, but I'm a little less familiar with the processes. Maybe I could be on cleanup duty or just be the gopher, hand her things. I'm not sure. But we're going to figure all of this out as time goes on, and that much I am confident in. I'm very excited about this new chapter in my life. It's been a rough couple of seasons. 2020, I think, was a little challenging for everyone. 2021 was even more challenging for many people than the previous year. And that was the case for me. While I think 2021 was an even better year, it was more challenging, and 2022 may be more challenging than 2021, but it will certainly be a better year also. Of this I am certain. And guys, that's really all I've got for today. I am on the road up to the Cleveland Clinic for another appointment with the functional medicine team. I'll be heading back up there in another couple of weeks again. And I'm going to get into some traffic shortly, so I'd like to focus on that and wrap things up. So hopefully you enjoyed the winter update, the winter market update from the farm and homestead. That's what we're up to. And I will get this posted and online as soon as possible. But in the interim, well, there is no interim, because by the time you hear this, it will be posted along with show notes and links to all of the farms and everybody that I talked about in the notes. So if you like what you hear and you're interested in learning more, check it out. You can follow York Meadow Farm on social media, primarily Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at York Meadow Farm, all one word. And I look forward to more homestead-esque updates. The past 2 years and the content of the show is representative of the challenges in life, and there will certainly be more content moving forward talking and discussing about the challenges, but hopefully more content related to the growth and development of not only the life, but the homestead of our dreams. So guys, that's it. This is Rob Kaiser, and thank you.